Hi everyone, this is Linda. Just a real quick thing about the new Creativate software that is now out there. First off, I'm going to put a plug in. You need to watch the video done by Sony, Viking educator out there, Viking SVP educator, out there on the mySewnet software North America Facebook page, or you can actually see it on YouTube and go watch it because she does cover a couple of different things. There's been some updates to it since then. One of them was the cloud disappeared with the latest update, but it's all back. So make sure you watch that just to kind of give you a general idea. But where I think some of the confusion is at least it was for me, was all Creativate for the embroidery software side is a renaming of the mySewnet software. So if you come down here and you go to, I've got the Windows desktop and the Mac desktop. It's basically going to be the same thing. This is for downloading to the current version of Creativate, and it basically is nothing more than a renaming. And I'm going to come here into the release notes so you see that. In the release notes, it actually talks about how it's basically installing programs are now rebranded as Creativate. It's all it is. It's a rebranding of the embroidery software. It is nothing more than that at this point. So let's get out of there. So you can download that, and you just really need to do the update, and so it's down here. It does talk about your system requirements and all those kind of fun things too. So I'm not going to go into all that at this point because I think everybody knows about that. The thing that's different is on the Android, on the phone and tablet, and on a iPad or iPhone, there's this other thing. If you look, let's look. Windows version 1.8. This is the Android software for mobile and tablet. This says version 5.1. They are two totally different things. This is actually an app where this is the embroidery software. So to get to this, now of course, I'm using a Windows laptop, but where I want to go is I'm going to come actually over here to quilting. And I'm going to go, and you notice this also is quilting software for Windows desktop. And when I download this, I'm going to come in here to the release notes. In the release notes, it talks about how they've changed some of this, and it's actually for doing the crafting software, and it's actually for doing the quilting software. If you haven't downloaded this app, not a big deal unless you actually have the Memento, or if you're going to use it for the quilt designing. But what I do like about it is the sewing assistant, which really makes it really nice to get to a couple of different things. So I'm going to go there so you can kind of see what it gives you on your desktop. So on your desktop, it will actually have, you can add machines. So I'm just going to go and I'll pick on one of these machines. And I come in here and I can do add a product. I just have all my epics on there because I have 3 of the epics, but I have questions all the time about what's on the 97 and etc. So I can add more products if I want to. But it gives me the access directly into my online version of the user manual, but it also gives me the design booklet. So I can actually see what designs came with it along with the instructions, etc. So with that being said, there is an error here. It says I have Elite. I do not. I do not have subscriptions version of the software. I have the boxed version. The subscription of mySewnet Platinum became Creativate Elite, and the mySewnet version of Creativate Platinum version stayed as Platinum. So just so that you know that. This is direct access into the embroidery software itself. This is taking me into the sewing assistant, which is basically the same thing as what I showed you just a minute ago by picking on the different machines. So I could come up here and again change machines. The crafting is actually the crafting software for the Memento. So if you play with this, it's something that's where you go to create your cutouts, to create the cutout files for your Memento. I'm going to skip that because I don't really, but I wanted you to see that just so that you knew. The other thing is there's the quilting software app that came out, 6 months ago or so, but it actually lets you create and design your own quilt projects. So that's there. Now I'm going to go back out of here. It takes you directly into your design catalog. So if you want to go to the design catalog, it takes you to your vault. This is for getting to these things that you have stored in the vault. It does not take you to the cloud. Wish it did. It doesn't, but it is there. So that's the difference in what everybody seems to be getting, thinking there's a really large difference. This actually used to be out there. It was called the mySewnet app. If you had it before, it would actually take you. It takes you, says there's an update. Go do it, and it takes you and it gets you so that you can actually do the update. But to get to the update, you need to make sure you're either going to quilting, crafting, or sewing if you're using a Windows desktop. If you're here and you go here, this will take you to the phone and tablet. If you have an Android, it's not the Windows version. And then there's the iPad and iPhone one. So just so that you know, it's there. It's different. It's not really any different than what we had before. Do some exploring of the new Creativate Facebook page or website. There are some things. It does talk about the app that's on your phone that you can get to. But again, watch to make sure you watch Sony's video. There are some more tutorials and how-tos. Some of them have disappeared. Some of them are slowly but surely getting added back in, which is really nice. They did disappear for a little while, but they are coming back. Depends on what you want to do. Quilt with Creativate. There's videos on how to do that. Embroider with your Creativate. Craft. So there's all kinds of information that's also on that Creativate site. So I just thought I'd do that really quick for you. I hope that helps some of the confusion.